Since childhood, I've always loved the feeling of free fall. Let's just say I haven't grown out of it. That's what brought me here, to Moruya on New South Wales' south coast. I couldn't imagine anything more thrilling than skydiving. Tandem's great, but I'm talking about solo, unattached, free-falling, from 12,000 feet above the earth. To be honest, I never actually expected to do it myself, and then one day I thought, why not? The first jump's kind of crazy. Everything happens in slow motion and hyper speed at the same time. The instructors on each side are keeping me steady and giving me signals to arch my back harder. I'm going over my emergency procedures in my head just in case something goes wrong, and I keep looking back at my altie. Before I can even comprehend that I just jumped out of a freaking aeroplane, it's time to pull. As soon as that door is open, the adrenaline kicks in saying, dude, this isn't meant to be happening. This is not smart. I have to fight against those thoughts and the wind that's blasting me as I get into position and we let go of the plane. The second jump's a lot like the first, but now there's a sense of familiarity. I've been here before. After I've done my practice pull to make sure I can find my chute when I need it, I make only a small adjustment of my arms and it turns all three of us with ease. Then I get to take a few seconds to take in the spectacular view while falling at terminal velocity before it's time to pull again. By stage 3 I'm hooked. At the same time as everything else is going through my head, I remember feeling exceptionally privileged to be doing this with such incredible instructors. That's Pooh. He's completed well over 16,000 jumps and here he is smiling at me, loving it. Jules, who's holding on to me, once set the world record for 150 jumps in a day. This is my first exit with only one instructor. I signal Jules that I'm ready. Up, down, go. I didn't arch my back hard enough and kick instinctually, even though it doesn't help. Once I remember to arch, I'm steady again and I can do my practice pull. Then comes the moment that words can't describe. The moment I came to it. Now it's time for some fun. Jules gives me the signal to show her that I can do a 360 turn to the left. I over-rotate. I try to be a bit more controlled on the next two and I'm stoked when I stick the landing. There's just enough altitude left for one more, so I wrench around as fast as I can and then have to stop myself from colliding with Jules. Stage 6 is my first jump of the next day, and my first exit without anybody keeping me steady. I was the first lined up for the first load of the day, and the excitement of yesterday hadn't faded one bit. I'd achieved my goal of free-falling solo, and now I'm perfecting the art. To move on to the next stage, I need to show proximity control by docking front on with Jules. Boom. It may not seem like much, but that just made my day. Next up was barrel rolls, and then tracking. I'd spent last night hearing from more advanced skydivers about how they love the feeling of tracking across the sky like a missile. It's a completely different technique to normal freefall, and I certainly didn't feel pro on my first attempt. But I love that there's always something to improve, or another skill to attain. So what does freefall feel like? Well, it's hard to explain. It's a world of polar extremes, exciting, outrageous, dangerous. but at the same time comfortable, familiar and joyful. I feel untouchable, but at the same time I'm probably reviewing emergency procedures in my head. It might not make sense, but this is the best feeling in the world. I'd only been jumping out of a plane for 2 days now, but I was on top of the world. In between jumps, I was smiling ear to ear, and I couldn't get back up there fast enough. Each jump, I felt more and more confident in myself. Not just at skydiving, but in life in general. If I can do this thing that I never thought I would, what else is in my future that I can't imagine right now?